What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler, and in continuing my series of Disney movie reviews, I'm here to let you know that The Aristocats is no perfect movie. And it centers on a family of cats who live in high society until their butler learns that they will be the beneficiary of their owner's will as opposed to him. So he kidnaps them, strands them in the middle of nowhere, and leaves them for dead, where they come across an alley cat named Thomas O'Malley who agrees to take them back home. And on the journey there, they learn things about each other that they never knew about, things about the world, things about how other people live. And of course, love, family, and maternal love. And watching the Aristocats made me realize some of the things that I was missing when I watched Oliver and Company, because they have very similar themes in regards to upper class and lower class citizens living amongst each other. But the Aristocats does it in such a much more consistent way and a much more entertaining way, if I'm being completely honest. And that's not to say that the Aristocats is that much better. In fact, watching it as an adult, there are things that I realize in a good way and things that I realize do kind of weigh the movie down. But let's start off with the obvious positive, the fact that we have a really good voice cast bringing some likable characters to life. Eva Gabor has this incredibly nice, soft, and elegant voice that even though her character doesn't have the highest vocal range, she can convey a lot of emotion with very little. Phil Harris is just as calm and carefree as he was in Robin Hood in the Jungle Book, but I think in terms of character arcs, O'Malley might be the one that has the strongest because as opposed to just finding one friend or staying loyal to one friend, he has this opportunity to become part of a family. And over the course of the movie, you feel as if he really can deserve a life like that. Like he can really be a father figure and have a woman in his life who genuinely respects and admires him for just the way he is, nothing else. And I gotta be completely honest, Napoleon and Lafayette were really funny characters in the couple scenes that they have. And I know they don't really tie into the rest of the story, but watching this movie, I forgot just how funny the slapstick and the animation was between them and Edgar's interactions. They play around with different locations, they go through walls, and all of their reactions are just funny as hell to watch. In fact, one funny thing that I did realize upon rewatching is that there are a lot of jokes about people getting liquored up, and I'm not just talking about the one goose Uncle Waldo who may have been fed white wine against his will, but that's a whole other story. But there's this one other joke where Roquefort the mouse is leading these alley cats to rescue the kittens, and a guy with a bottle of wine sees the mouse leading the cats, and he's just like, "Yeah, better pour this one out." And I'm just like, that was funny. That was legitimately funny. This reminded me of back when Disney movies were allowed to be for all ages, not just for kids, and a part of me really wonders what happened there. But anyways, the positives. The other positive is that the songs are still really good. The first couple, though, like the Aristocats intro and Scales and Arpeggios, I still don't remember what the lyrics are. I couldn't follow it. The one guy who sings like the intro apparently came out of retirement to sing this, and I'm sorry, I'm sure Maurice Chevalier was a good singer, but I couldn't follow the words for a second. I'm surprised the Sherman Brothers even wrote those two songs because they're kind of the weakest. But once O'Malley comes in and sings his intro, and we get Everybody Wants to Be a Cat, which I gotta be honest is still one of my favorite Disney songs, one of the best musical sequences in a Disney movie, just because it allows you to have fun. It has a lot of energy. It's distinct from other Disney movies in that this is a soundtrack with more of a jazz feel to it. I wish more Disney movies kept doing that in the future, but hey, anything can happen. Hopefully, Soul will keep that thread going. And as I said before, the other thing that I noticed was that the themes of upper class and lower class coexisting was a little more consistent and a little more fresh because it's not just upper and lower class animals learning to connect with each other. They also come across upper class animals from other countries, like the two British geese, who have some of the best moments and some of the best jokes. And the cats even learn things about humans that they never really understood before. And because these cats have to be, they have to have, get as much help as they can in order to get back home, they need to be really open minded. And that open mindedness not only makes them easy to identify with, but it really pays off. They meet a ton of unlikely allies, they learn different things about other people's way of life, different tastes of music, food as they learn about the humans in some cases. And honestly, it was so great to see characters learn about each other without getting so judgmental in a forced way where, oh, we have to stay away from you because you don't like us or you're too better than us or stuff like that. No, we don't need moments like that in order to have this message work. You just need people to be able to get along in a natural way. And I love seeing these cats interact with Scat Cat. I like seeing these cats interact with the geese. I only wish we had more moments like that, because the other thing that I noticed, and this was the one that really held the movie down, was some side characters get more or less screen time than they really should. Like the mouse, Roquefort. I think he got way too much screen time because all he really does is fall on his ass until the very end of the movie where he all of a sudden becomes super helpful. And there's more time spent on him falling around or Napoleon and Lafayette, as funny as they were chasing Edgar, than establishing the connection between the kittens and their owner, because that's kind of the central conflict. Duchess can't decide whether she wants to live with O'Malley and have a life that is free and independent, or be loyal to an owner who really doesn't have anyone in their lives. Because, yeah, we learned that about them, but it stops there. I really don't know anything about their owner. I don't even remember their name. Sure, they say something about her being a famous opera singer in the past, but I don't even remember them dropping that by. The most I remember her is her incredibly annoying lawyer who's just an old man who's like constantly moving to enforce the fact that, oh, I'm old but I can still do this and that. And it's just, first of all, they didn't even prove that because he was just a klutzy, senile old man. And second, it established absolutely nothing. It was just dumb comedy. So the Aristocats is a lot more uneven and less rewatchable than I would have liked it to be, because this was maybe one of my favorite VHSs to put on as a kid, but thankfully there is still enough nostalgia and legitimately good things about the Aristocats for me to still appreciate. The voice actors, the songs, the sketchist animation that portrays Paris in a different but still beautiful looking way. And for all those reasons, I'm going to be nice on the Aristocats, and I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching. If you've seen the Aristocats as a kid, let me know down below what you thought of it. Be sure to stay tuned for more Disney movie reviews, and be sure to like and subscribe. Take care.